Okay, we are live. We are now live. Hopefully you can hear me. You can see Miss Beer working hard as always. Here I am. Another day in the Bangkok that is. What's happening, everybody? Good morning. All right, here we are. Let's see here. Let's get this show on the road. Here we go. All right, good to know. Thank you. So today we're going to talk about the best places for expats to live in Thailand. And these are not necessarily my opinion. They're not ranked in what I would consider to be the best places, but for the most part, you can figure out probably at least 5 or 6 of them pretty easily. But for those people who don't know Thailand, I think it might be enlightening. So that's why we're here. I don't know if you can see here, aside from this beer, if you look out, you can see the silver the aluminum siding, and it makes it very difficult to get into Starbucks now. I'm the only customer, and it's almost 5 after 9 now. The reason is because if you want to enter into Starbucks right now, you have to go all the way around the back of the mall and then walk through the mall, which is completely dark. And I guess people just don't really want to be here badly enough to do that. This place is supposedly under renovation. Some of the shops that say they're under renovation have been under renovation for more than a year. But I think it also has to do with the monorail that's being worked on, that's coming along nicely, and hopefully it'll be done very shortly. Apparently, Carlos, how you doing? I was wondering what's happening. Are you back yet? Yeah, I have cut some weight. I've cut 27 pounds so far. And I want to cut at least another 25 or 30, but I'm going to see how far I can go. It's not easy. At this point, it's not so easy. The weight's not just falling off like it did in the beginning, but that's okay. It's a monorail. This is not a BTS SkyTrain. This is the MRT monorail, and they have apparently been testing it. I haven't seen any trains going by, but I talked to somebody who lives here. He's lived here quite some time, and I trust what he says. And he said he's seen 2 tests done already. So that's a good thing. Apparently, from what I've been told, and I've heard this before, it'll be done in April, and then it's not done in April, but it's supposedly going to be completely done in April. Oh, well, at least you're getting some rest. You feeling better? Hopefully. If you look over here, let's see. See these guys, they're all working. They're doing all kinds of things here to try and, I guess, make this mall better. I don't know how they can make it. I don't know what was wrong with it in the first place. I don't know how it is in the U.S. because I haven't lived there for so long now and I don't really remember. But what I do see here is that they're constantly renovating and doing new things. I mean, even across the street, Happy Land Center. Well, it's good you got the good meds. Happy Land Center across the street. Listen, they got lots of little 100 baht stores, $2.50, $3 stores. Lots of cheap stuff. I mean, they're selling pants that are 60 baht, 100 baht, clothes like that. And you can try to, what is it? You can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. And it's the same thing. I mean, you know, they've got a fitness center over there, and the reason that my wife and my kids are members of a fitness center. I'm not, because I don't really like fitness centers. I like doing things on my own, you know, push-ups, leg lifts, squats, all that kind of stuff. But also at a boxing gym. It's just me. I don't like the whole, you know, fitness center vibe. But I mean, I'll go there, and I have. But there's a fitness center. They made a new fitness center in Happy Land. And we were both like, it's not gonna last. It's just not gonna last. The place is, you know, if it's a pig, it's gonna stay a pig. If it's a lower income shopping center, no matter what they do, they're not gonna make it, you know, M. Courtier or Emporium or Paragon. They're not gonna turn it into something it's not. And here, this is a decent mall, but this is a very blue-collar mall. You're not going to find any Gucci or, you know, Hugo Boss. And, I mean, the only thing you might find is cologne, perfume that are designer brands. But you're not going to find stores that are selling Rolexes and Patek Philippe. You're going to have to go to Icon Siam for that. So I don't know what the deal is and why they're renovating the place. I don't know if maybe there's just not that many shops that are still in business that want to give up their space. I don't know what kind of deal they have. But like, there was a postal place. I used to take all my stuff there because they would just, I didn't have to go to the post office, which can be a pain in the neck because there's lines and it's a little ways away. So I would come here. Now that postal place is gone. There is no postal place here in the mall. And I don't think it was of their own choosing. They just shut the place down and said, we're going to renovate. No, I don't understand it. So whatever, it doesn't really matter. What I think doesn't matter, but they're under construction supposedly. No idea when it'll be finished. And the bottom line is, if you're coming here, there's a lot of stores that are not open. I don't know how that works. But Starbucks is open, so that's a good thing, albeit a little difficult to get in. Something else going on here today, the dollar has taken a massive dump against the baht. It is 32.69 to the dollar. I mean, it was so, yeah, there's always coochie here. Coochie. What was that girl? That was Charo that used to say that, right? Coochie. Let me see something here. I'm looking for one particular thing. I don't know what's going on with the baht and the dollar. I don't know, but you know, it is what it is. So you're not going to get as much for your money. And prices have gone up here. And if you don't think they've gone up, let me just tell you something. When I came here, it was 15 baht. Even 5 baht for a pad thai. It went up. It was like, you know, okay, if you're lucky, you find it 15 baht. You could find the 5 baht ones, but you needed 2 to really get full. But figure 20 baht. Now pad thai is going to be, depending on what you put in it, it might be 70 baht. If you put shrimp in it, it might be 70, 80 baht. And I'm talking about at a little stall, at a food court, something like that. If you get something like chicken, it might be 50 or 60 baht, but prices have gone up over the years. Just like everywhere, inflation. Yeah, this is the Mall Bankapi. Good morning there, Jim. Good morning, everybody. You know, and as I've said in the last year, we've been looking around for some place to move to. We've been looking to buy a place. We've been looking to do all kinds of things. And it's just a matter of finding the right place. But we did go look at a place yesterday, and it just didn't cut it, you know. And sometimes the money they're asking, well, by U.S. standards, it might not be that much. You look and you go, like, I went to this place yesterday, and I'm like, there's a window. You're 25 stories up. The window just opens up. There's nothing protecting you from just falling right out. And then also, you know, if let's say that you know you're roughhousing with you know, your girlfriend or your wife. You happen to be playing around. The window is right next to in some of the places, the window's right next to the bed. You hit the window. I don't trust the windows. I don't trust the ledges. I don't trust any of the construction. So in other words, you roll up against, you're messing around, you bang up against the window, oh, it cracks and you fall through. That's it. Life's over. You are done. And that's the kind of safety. And then, you know, it's just like half constructed stuff. When I see that kind of stuff, I just go, it's not worth it. Yeah, it's over many years, but the percentage, and now in the past 3 years, prices have gone up dramatically. And by dramatically, I mean, if something goes up 30%, that's a lot of money. You know, it adds up. And they are raising the rates, the fares, the taxi fares. They're going to be raising them, I don't know, anytime in the next couple of months. The starting fare now is 35 baht. It's going to be 40 baht. Now, I'll give you an example. I used to come from the mall and take a taxi, and I would get home, and it would be 35 baht. Now, when I get home, it's anywhere from 50 to 56 baht. 57 baht, rather, which means you pay 60. You're going to give them the 60 and not worry about the 3 baht. So it's gone from 35 baht, you know, it's just crazy. Yeah, in the United States, I mean, the prices are, to me, they're, you know, really out of hand. And I hear about it all the time. I'm always hearing something. But anyway, I don't mean to get off the track. The weather is getting hotter here. It's currently, as soon as I got here, I checked, and it was 74 degrees Fahrenheit, high in 93. It's still somewhat cool in the evening, cool enough where you don't really need your air conditioner, but it is getting to be the hot season. So if you're coming over here, be prepared for that. Now, I wanted to tell you guys, I've been looking around, and I've narrowed it down to 2 different software brands, 2 different methods of streaming with guests. And I still have to do a couple of tests. That's going to take place this week. But I have, as I said, I have been in talks with this guy Mark, who was kidnapped by the Taliban and held for 2.5 years. He was freed a couple of months ago, and he was a subscriber to he still is a subscriber to the channel, but he's also been a member of my website. He was a member for quite some time, and the reason is that he was planning on coming over here. He was a contractor in Afghanistan. He was planning on coming over here. He still wants to come over here. He received an offer he couldn't refuse, and he decided to stay in Afghanistan. So I'm trying to get him on. He wants to come on, and that should be in the next, I'm just going to say in the next couple of weeks, maybe 2 weeks. I also have a woman who is an insurance specialist, an insurance agent. She's quite good. Happy birthday to Mr. Dowlow. I know he's only like 21 now. Anyway, if you're interested in getting insurance here in Thailand, she's very good, very knowledgeable, and we are going to make a video together. She's going to tell people what she thinks they need to know about getting insurance here. And also, if you have any questions about insurance, what you're going to get, whatever it may be, if you have questions, post them in the comment down below. I'm going to put something up in the community tab asking you to come up with some questions. I got my own questions. And then when we make the video, we will address those questions. And hopefully you'll find it very useful. She's got some good insurance, man. I was really surprised. And I'm glad I met with her. I met with her with my wife. I'm very glad we met her because it's something that if you're here in Thailand, you really need to have it. Okay? Well, yeah, shout out to Dowlow. Happy birthday. Now, on Wednesday, I'm going to have a video going up. It's already scheduled. Let me get this link here. I'll put it up. It's called Experience Pattaya in Style. Stay in your own affordable villa now. And this was a villa that I went to. It's been about a month and a half, maybe 7 weeks. And when I went with Jono, and we met with Fidelity Quester, another viewer of this channel, and also one of his friends. So I'll be showing that place in this video coming up. So that video will be on Wednesday at 8 a.m. Bangkok time, and here is the link in case you want it. Boom, there you go. I'll pin that. Now, before I get into the best places for expats to live, do me a favor. Remember to leave a thumbs up and to subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'm marching towards 15,000. I only need 74 more subscribers, and I finally hit 15,000. And I will get into all that. Gennaro, watch the video. Watch the video. It's not in Jomtien. Let me see something here. I will have all the information for this place. It's off of Tapraya, Tanon Tapraya, Tapraya Road, close to there. But I will show you a little bit of it and some other things that we did while we were there. We did a lot while we were in Pattaya. It was a good time for all. Good morning, Leonardo. Well, maybe his insurance was shit. Maybe he had other issues. I don't know. I have no idea. You know, that's the thing about insurance. Insurance, there's so many variables, you know. I mean, I had my gallbladder removed and bile duct surgery twice. And it was over our limit. We had to pay, I don't know what it was, and I had to fight tooth and nail to get them to discount the price because of some of the things they've done, and I got into that. I've gotten into that before, where basically they took me in and then they said, oh yeah, the doctor's going to work on you tonight, and then the doctor didn't work on me. Then the next day, oh yeah, well you need to pay this much. So we paid it, like within an hour we paid it. It was like 130,000. They wanted 130,000, even though we had insurance. And so we paid it, and then at the end I was like, hey, what is this bill? This is ridiculous. It's 2 days I sat here and you didn't have the doctor work on me. The doctor could have worked on me on the first day. I've been paying for 2 days. And they finally discounted it, but I had to fight tooth and nail. So, you know, that's the way it works. But this insurance is very good, and we'll get into it. I need to get some more of the details from her on paper, you know, and then we'll talk to her. But if you got questions, by all means, leave them in the comments down below. I will put something up in the community tab, probably later today. You know, that's the thing about insurance. You know, I know guys who have insurance, and you know, the thing is they may have to pay a high deductible because they may have to pay a lot of money because their deductible is high. You know, if you've got a $3,000 deductible, you know, you go in for a surgery and it's, you know, 80,000 baht. Guess what? You're paying for the whole thing. Say goodbye to Miss Beer. She's leaving. She's a very busy woman now, right? Yung mak, ใช่ไหม?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Bye bye. All right. So I don't really think any of these places, albeit maybe one or two of them, maybe three, are a huge surprise to people. But let me get into this here. You know, the whole thing is that there are people who want to live here and they're always wondering about what's the budget, what's the budget. That's another thing. I told you guys I'm updating my website. There's going to be a lot of updates on it coming really soon. One of the first articles I'm gonna put up is just about a budget. It's a really loose guideline for what you need to spend here. And I've always said, you know, like, do you want to exist or do you want to live? Do you want to travel a little bit? I mean, you know, like, if you're living off of $800, $700 a month, you're probably not going to be traveling much aside from outside of your village once in a while. And that's it. I'll tell her you guys like her. She knows she has a fan club. She's the last of the original three. So, although, as I said the other day, I believe I said something about it, Ms. Mook, who was not one of the original three, she left, and then I was like, well, where is she? And she came back. Turns out she had a baby. So that's why she was off. Maternity leave. I don't know about that, Jim. You know, it depends on what kind of lifestyle you're going to have. You know, $2,000 a month. I've always said you need at least $1,500 a month, and you're going to be you're not going to be living high on the hog, but you'll be very comfortable. You'll be comfortable, but you're not going to be living in the the fattest crib or anything like that. So I'll have a guideline. Another thing that I'm putting together is itineraries for a week, 2 week, that kind of thing. There's all kinds of stuff I'm putting together. So it'll happen. I love beer t-shirt. Well, I have to ask her if she'd like that, and maybe I'll get her little face and make a cartoon out of it or something. I don't know. That would be funny. Speaking of t-shirts, go down in the description. It's actually the very first thing under the little asterisk. Visit my website and purchase my books and merch. Go to anamericaninbangkok.com. You can get, if you're an Aussie, you can now get an Aussie in Thailand t-shirt. The mugs are coming, the mouse pads are coming, and there's all kinds of other merch. There's hats, there's mugs, there's shirts, and there's other stuff coming as well. So go down in the description. Everything's down on the description. You want to help support the channel. But let's get into this. All right? I've been yapping long enough. And by the way, I don't know if you guys watched the video that I put up the other day. It is the second to last video. I believe it's second to last or third to last, but I think it's second to last video in the Bangkok to Ho Chi Minh series. And the next video that goes up, whether it's the last one or not, the next one that goes up is the episode where I meet up with Mr. Tao, the boyfriend, yes, I said boyfriend, of the subscriber we all know as Bumgun Chuck. Yes, I'm glad that you'll be getting it down low. That's good news. Let me know what you think when you get it. But there's a lot of other stuff online too, so go check it out. So that video will be coming up, you'll get a little, if you watch the video the whole way. Hey, thank you very much, Tony. Choki and Swati Cup from Koh Samui, finally visiting Thailand. Ah, you made it. All right, good deal, man. I like to hear that. I mean, you know, I gotta admit, Well, that's good, Andy. If he wants, he can contact me, and I'll work something out with him. Yeah. You know, I gotta admit, I'm a little bit selfish. When people can't come here, I'm like, hey, that's okay. I don't mind. And it's not good for the Thais. So, you know, yeah, from that standpoint, it bothers me. But it's good for me as a traveler. And now all the people are coming back, and it's good for the Thais, so I'm happy for them. And, you know, I wish there weren't as many tourists, but that said, I try not to go to real touristy destinations most of the time. Sometimes you just can't help it because there are fewer and fewer places that are tourist-free nowadays. You really got to look, and you really got to put the work in to get there. I told you guys, sometime next month I'm going to go to a place, and I will tell you that I can get there by bus. So I'll be there sometime next month. All right, so let's get started with this. Now, I'm going to do two things here. One is the best places in Thailand for foreigners to live, and then the second, and it's very related, is the top 10 places in Thailand based on cost of living and quality of living. And they're basically the same, but for whatever reason, this was generated and the order is not exactly in the same. So let me just get into this here. Number 10, and I don't know why it's done this way, but the Isan province, the Isan region rather, is number 10 of good places for foreigners to live. I think, you know, if you got a wife from there, it's a good place. I lived up there for about a year. I had a girlfriend a long time ago that was from Udon Thani, and I lived in a village, and man, I gotta tell you, I was bored out of my head. I was just bored stiff. And every once in a while I would take a motorcycle, I would drive a motorcycle up to the local mall, which back then was really a piss poor mall. I understand it's changed quite a bit, but back then it was not really very good at all. And then sometimes I would just take I don't know what they call them, they're trucks. They're kind of like songthaews, but they're huge. They're like buses, but they're open air. And I would go from the village, and I would go all the way up to Nong Khai, and then I would spend the day there or spend a night there, and I'd go up there and I would just go looking around. Sometimes I would go into Laos or whatever. But you know, the place is known for its culture and for the friendly locals and the low cost of living. And this is for me, the way I look at it, it says it's a popular destination for those who are looking for a more authentic Thai experience as opposed to, say, Phuket or Pattaya or something like that. But I think the reason that people mainly go to Isan and live there, I don't know a lot of single guys who go there other than ones who are like looking to get married or looking to be with a bunch of chicks, and they're not looking for, I don't know why you would go there and live there if you didn't have a significant other or a girlfriend or something, you know. I don't think I would go there for a more authentic Thai experience. Number 9, Kanchanaburi. And the place is known for its natural beauty and, of course, the bridge over the River Kwai. And there's a lot of history there, and it's a very, very popular destination. It is a tourist place, a tourist trap. Isan is generally not a tourist area, with the exception of a few places. Nong Khai being one of them, but really there are a lot of places in Nong Khai that definitely are not tourism destinations. But Kanchanaburi would be a good place to live as long as you could find a place a little bit away from, you know, the main area by the bridge. And I mean, you know, it's too much. For me, it's too much. Number 8, Koh Chang. Koh Chang is an island. It's known for its natural beauty, nice beaches, the waterfalls. There's a national park, and this is a very popular destination. I like the place, but I've been there like half a dozen times. And I don't know, you know, I'm always looking for new places. So for me, I don't know. And, you know, I know guys who live there. One guy is a pretty good friend of mine, and he's lived there for many, many years, and he loves it. You know, the downside is it's an island, and it's a little bit of ways from Bangkok. It's going to take a while to get back to Bangkok, and really the only way you can get back is to take a bus or drive. So, you know, Koh Chang, I like it a lot. Great place. I don't know if I could live there. I mean, I think about it and I think, okay, yeah, I guess I could just stay on the island and not go to the mainland very often. But, you know, it requires, anytime you stay on an island, it requires a bit more effort. Okay, number 7, Koh Phangan, which is known for the full moon parties and the backpacker culture, which makes it a popular destination for the younger crowd who wants to party. And I'll be honest, I mean, I like the place too. Living there, I think the younger people would do my head in. Listen, yesterday, my wife and I were sitting here. 2 weeks of peace, I love it. I know the feeling though. I know what you're saying. And she probably feels the same way when I leave. But we were sitting here, and they had this music on inside the mall. It was so loud. I couldn't hear myself think. And I said to her, you know, this just sucks. Do they not think people want to think, or they do not want people to think? They want their brains scrambled so they can't think about what they're gonna buy, and they just walk around like zombies. And she says, aren't you used to this yet? And I was like, oh, okay, that's the Thai mentality. But then, you know, Chinese New Year and all, they had the lion dance, and they had all these, you know, people for Chinese New Year. A lot of the staff inside are wearing, you know, their little red and yellow Chinese outfits. Then the lion dance kicked off, and it was ear-shattering. And she just looked at me, and I knew what she was thinking, but she spoke too soon. Bye. She spoke too soon. Because there is a huge noise problem. And every time I think about the downsides of Thailand, I think pollution, traffic, noise. And pollution can come in many forms. So, you know, there's that. Oh my God. Today is a Sunday morning, and there's not one other customer in Starbucks. And it's because they haven't opened the front. And everybody has to come in from the back, and the only people that come in from the back are the employees. Okay, so let me go on here. You know, one place that's not on the list, and that I did like, but I liked visiting there, but I just couldn't see living there. And that was, what was the name of that place? Was it Kotlan? What was the? Now I can't remember the name of it now. It was on my trip when I went to Phuket, Krabi, and let me see here if I can find it real quick. I'm blanking out. Nothing new there. No, it's not Koh Lan. That's by Pattaya. I don't know. I have to find out. It was devastated by the tsunami, which is one reason why I look at it and I go, I don't know, I want to live there. I don't know. Maybe it'll pop into my head in a minute. But anyway. It was on my trip where I went to Krabi, then I went to this place that I was talking about. Then I went to Phuket. That was my final stop, and then I flew back. This is about a year and a half ago, I'd say. If anybody remembers. Was it no, it wasn't Khao-Lak. Or maybe it was. Yeah, it would have to be, I think it was Khao-Lak. No. It's Khao-Lak. Definitely. Anyway, there are places like that where you go and you visit and you go, man, this is spectacular. The beaches are so nice. The people are cool. It's a nice little area. But then you think about, wow, if I was to live here, it would be severely lacking. I couldn't get tacos. I couldn't get this, I couldn't get that. You might have a hard time if you need a new pair of jeans. The only thing you're gonna see is the 100 baht jeans that the Thais buy. You're not gonna find any Levi's 501s. Those kind of things. Not to mention that it's a little difficult to get around there, and there's not that much to do. But let's move on. Number 6, and Tony may agree, Koh Samui. Koh Samui is considered by many a tropical paradise with beautiful beaches, luxury resorts, and a variety of activities: diving, snorkeling, island hopping, partying, bars, chicks, beaches. I already said beautiful beaches, but lots to do there in Koh Samui. It's a little expensive to get back and forth, and if you got to get to Bangkok, a little bit expensive. It's a little bit of a hassle. That area, like to go from Krabi, you're going to be taking a minibus to get to Phuket. Not always easy to get a train if you want to come back to Bangkok. Phuket has an international airport, so that's a good thing, but you're going to have to go there. So every time you want to get around, it's a little bit of, and it's an island. Like I said, prices are, they're not really like out of whack with everywhere else. The prices are pretty good in Koh Samui. Number 5 is Phuket. Okay, another place known for its beautiful beaches, clear water, and rich marine life. Lots of diving, snorkeling, island hopping. Plenty of bars there if you want to go out partying, drinking. There's a nightlife with ladies. Lots to do in Phuket. I would say if you're going to live there, you want to get out of the main area where the bar scene is. You want to get away from Soi Bangla and that region of the island. There are plenty of other places to go. The prices might be a little bit higher than some people want to pay, but that's life. That's the way it goes. Number 4, Hua Hin. This coastal town is known for its very relaxed atmosphere. It's a long-time destination for Thai tourists. It's known for its beaches, although the beaches, I've seen better and I've seen worse. It's also known for its golf courses. It is a very popular destination for retirees and those looking for a peaceful and less busy place than Pattaya. For me, I would say somewhere else that it's not on this list. In that region, you might want to consider is Prachuap. Prachuap is a province, but if you get into the city, it's very nice. And also Cha'am. So that's number 4. Number 3. Come on. You know it's going to be on the list. Pattaya. Everybody loves Pattaya. Now, I like it. I don't know. I could live there, but I would not want to live, and I know Pattaya Bob may disagree, but I would not want to live there right on Beach Road. I would not want to live in the midst of all the tourism. It's just too much for me. I just don't want to, me personally, I don't want to deal with it. For those guys who are younger and who want to, you know, maybe hit the nightlife, tear up the town, then that's a good area to stay. But you can always go to Jomtien. There are places in Chonburi that you could go. I mean, you know what? People don't even think about this place, and there's not all that much to do. But there are beaches there, and that is Bangsan. It's on the way. Hey there, spaceman. Yeah, I lived in Bangla for a little over a year, and I didn't particularly like it. I mean, it was all right. I like going to the beach and that kind of thing. But I didn't like the noise, and I didn't like the fact that everybody, you know, the one thing I don't like about Pattaya is, like, if you speak a few words of Thai, people, oh, you can speak Thai. Or, you know, you go there and they think you're an ATM. Every foreigner says, oh, he's so rich. And I understand why they think that. But after a while, it's just like, oh, I get tired of hearing it. You know, I just want to, you know, do my own thing. Just, I don't want to hear all that all the time. Hey, mister, come inside. One drink for me? You know, that's just not what I want to be around. And for some people, they don't mind it and they like it, and you know, they have their fun. And I think, you know, Bob's got his own lifestyle there, and that's why he can live there. And he's got a great view of the ocean, and you know, for a reasonable price, far less than in the U.S. So, I mean, I do understand it. You know. And I certainly, I would not want to move there right in the heart of the action and bring my family there and have my family live there. I would live there if I was a single guy, and I'd probably live, you know, within spitting distance of the wide diameter that is the nightlife area and the scene that I'm talking about. You know, I would live just outside of that, far enough away to not have to deal with it, but close enough to where if I wanted to go down there and see a buddy, meet up with somebody, go out on the town, I could do so. Okay? So that's number 3. What's number 1 and number 2? Can anybody tell me? It's not rocket science if you know a little bit about Thai geography and the country. I just, by process of elimination, you should be able to figure them out. And, you know, I have grown to like Pattaya more than I did in the past. I mean, when I first got here, I liked it because, oh, there's so many bars, so many women, so many this. Wow, man. And then after a while, I got sick of it. This is another place. Number 2 is another place that I have grown to like because my wife has been dragging me there. And I just got back, and I said I'm going to have a Pattaya video about the villa that where 4 of us stayed, and that's going to be on Wednesday at 8 a.m. Bangkok time. And then probably in the next 2 weeks, I will have footage of the Chiang Mai trip, Chiang Mai, Chiang Dao, and you know, a lot of nice things there in Chiang Mai. By mobile retirement, you mean you can pick up and leave whenever you want. And I personally think, you know, I only have a few things that like I wouldn't want to let go, simply because they're a necessity for me. Yeah, that's what I said, Bob. I did say that. You know, there's plenty of places to live in that area, in the entire province. And as I also said, I have come to, and some of it has to do with Patia Bob, to be quite honest, and a couple of other people that I go and see sometimes there, that just over time it's kind of grown on me, you know, because I can ignore some of that stuff now. I mean, I laugh at it for the most part. Oh, sir, you please come inside. I mean, you know, there's no harm in that, but just after a while, it's kind of, you know, can get on your nerves. All right, so yeah, number 2 is Chiang Mai. The relatively low cost of living, relaxed lifestyle, and proximity to nature, which is a big one, make Chiang Mai an attractive option for retirees and digital nomads. There's a lot less digital nomads there now than there used to be, thanks to the Chinese and what happened in China. The city also has a thriving expat community and offers a wide range of activities, including yoga, exercise, language classes. Okay. You know, you can go hiking, you can go kayaking, you can do all kinds of things there. And that's what we've done. And we took a trip, you know, we took a trip to Chiang Dao, which is still in the province. And, you know, we really didn't have a fantastic hotel room. And there wasn't a whole lot of stuff to do, but there was enough that kept us busy for a couple of days. And it was just a hop, skip, and a jump from the city, Chiang Mai city, you know, the city center. So, you know, there's a lot to do there, more than you would think. You just got to step out a bit. You know, I mean, if all you want to do is go to Starbucks and drink coffee, then obviously you're limited. There's only so many Starbucks. And, you know, for the record, again, I'm going to say, the only thing I really like about Starbucks is that it's convenient. People know, you know, the green logo, and that their coffee is consistently average. But it's never bad. It's never terrible. It's very average. And at least I know what I'm getting. If I want awesome coffee, I'll go and buy some Illy, or I'll go to a place that serves Illy or Segafredo or Lavazza or some local coffee or something like that. All right, number 1. Gee, I don't know, but this comes as a surprise. Number 1 in the list of best places in Thailand for foreigners to live is Bangkok. The capital city offers a variety of job opportunities and a diverse cultural scene and a wide range of shopping, dining, and entertainment options. It also has a very modern infrastructure and public transportation systems. So if you want to get something here, you can find it. Pretty much whatever you want, you can get it here. I like that. I like that there are many different restaurants. If you want to eat Korean food, you can eat Korean food. If you want to eat Argentinian, you can eat that. You want to eat French, you can have that. Italian, you can have that. Japanese, whatever you want, you can have it here. You go out to some small village or a little small city, it's going to be harder to find, and there may only be 1 or 2 places, and who knows, you may not like it. Listen, I got to tell you, you know, I've been eating kimchi lately because of the probiotics, and I've stuck with 2 different types of kimchi. Yesterday, or day before yesterday, I think it was it was day before yesterday, I bought a big tub of the stuff. I thought it was the same as one of the same brand as one of the ones that I buy all the time that I really like. man, I don't know what it is. I don't know what's different because it's all in Korean. But I ate this kimchi yesterday and I just went, nah, this is not good kimchi. I don't like it. I'll never buy it again. And I'm gonna eat the rest of it grudgingly. I will eat the rest of it, and then I will continue to get the other stuff that I've been getting. So something else that I really like here in Bangkok is the infrastructure, the transportation system. You really don't, I mean, like I did the other day, I didn't want to pay, 45 bucks just to go and come back from the Wat Sampran, the Dragon Temple. Instead, I paid 120 baht to get there. I could have paid 120 to get back. It was about $4. I paid $4. Could have paid $8 instead of 45. Now, as you all saw, those who were watching, I took a taxi on the way back. That taxi cost 453 baht, which I just rounded up to 460, gave him 460 baht. What does that work out to? 13, it's about $13 and some change. So instead of, it cost 17, 18 bucks instead of 45 or 50. So that's a great thing about Bangkok is if you take the time to learn how to get around. I know how to take buses, I know how to take, boat taxis, I know how to take the Songtaos, SkyTrain, CityLink, Subway. I know how to take all these so I can get around pretty easily, and I do like that. Now, on the downside, sometimes you're going to be forced to take a taxi, sometimes you need to take a taxi, and the traffic sucks here. Another downside is, as I said, is all the pollution. And then the final downside is that you live in a big city. It's a concrete jungle. It's not always easy to just get away. Like in Chiang Mai, you want to get away. We stayed in the city for the majority of our trip, which was like 10 days. But there were a couple times that we didn't. And there were a couple, well, Chiang Dao was one of the times. It was a little village. And then when we wanted to, I wanted to go somewhere, we took a grab taxi. It took us about 25 minutes out from where we were, and we were out in a very nice area. And I went to there was a gym, and then there was a coffee place that was attached to the gym. And they served me my bulletproof coffee there, that's why I went. But it turned out that it was quite a nice place. The entire compound was very nice. Chiang Mai is number 2, Gennaro. So, my wife has been talking about, we should live in Chiang Mai. We should get something there. And okay, fine. Eventually, I would be happy there. In the beginning, I'd be like, I don't know if I like this. And there is more traffic. There is more traffic in Chiang Mai and Hua Hin and Pattaya than in the past, but it's not all that bad. Let's get the fermented one. I don't like that one. Yeah, I mean, changing lines on the monorail is not too bad. Even on the subway is not too bad. Or the SkyTrain, rather. I keep saying monorail because this one in front of the mall is a monorail. Most of them are not. I don't fart all that much now. I'll be honest. I really don't. But then again, I'm not eating as much as I have in the past. I just have the one meal, and maybe like last night I was really hungry. I just thought, man, I am. So I had some celery. I had a piece of cheese and some celery with unsweetened peanut butter. And I got to be careful with the peanut butter, but other than that, well, I think the whole house is happier. Nobody wants to be in a house where, like, you know, you're ripping fart after fart. I mean, I got air freshener in the house, but you know, we always have air freshener in the house, so the place smells somewhat good. But it doesn't help when you. It doesn't always help. Let's just put it that way. All right, so now that's the list. Now let me just double check here, but every place that was on that list is on this list of places that are in the top 10 based on cost of living and quality of living. That's something else I'm going to have up on the website, although that might not be up for the next until another 4 or 5 days, and that's going to be cost of living and quality of living top 10 in Southeast Asia and in Thailand. Listen, before I go on and get into this next list, please remember, if you like this live stream, if you like the videos that I'm putting up, hit that like button, smash it, pound it, do whatever you want. Just click it gently, however you want to do it. And if you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate it. Hopefully it'll be worth your while. And then check the description down below. You can become a YouTube member. You can purchase merch. That helps, because this is a viewer-supported channel. You can do it that way. You can buy me a coffee. There's my coffee. My nose is itching. If I tell that to my wife, she'll say, that means you're coming into a large sum of money. Although I don't know that that'll hold up. I got the Cash App. You can become, like I said, you can join the members. Dry hump that like button. Thanks, Richard. You can become a sponsor of the channel. And one of the things that I have resolved myself, that I am determined to do, is put up more members only content. And I'll give you an example. That video I put up yesterday, I had to cut about 2 minutes. I uploaded the video, it was done, and I had to cut about 2 minutes of the video because when I was on the train, in yesterday's clip, you can hear a little bit of some music that is played. The train accidentally played, the music was like blaring, and it was hurting people's ears. Well, they kind of fixed it for a moment, and then the next thing you know, it was another minute and a half, and people were freaking out. People were, I was making faces. Well, when I uploaded it, YouTube said, sorry, copyright claim. You can't monetize this video. So I was like, well, I got to cut it out. It's not the same putting music over it. I couldn't just do that. So I can upload that, or I can provide a link to a video that has that in there. So that's the kind of stuff that I can put up, behind the scenes stuff and all that kind of stuff. So if you join the channel, and also that'll be on Patreon, you can join the Patreon. Everything's down below in the description. So anyway, or you can just watch, whatever you want. I appreciate that. I've come to appreciate that more and more. But let's get into this here. I'm into Turkish bread lately, toasted, yum. Oh, thank you, Richard. Thank you very much. I just saw that. Choke D to you. Very nice. I gotta say, I have not had a piece of bread in almost 2 months. I haven't had a piece of bread. I haven't had a fufu drink since I was in Vietnam, probably. By foo-foo drink, I mean something like a frappuccino or something like that. Some sweet drink. I haven't had any soda. I haven't had any rice. And if I have had a rice dish, I have pulled all the meat off of it and just not eaten the rice and just eaten the meat. So I do miss the bread a little bit. I mean, let me tell you something. When I think of good bread, I think of bread you get in an Italian restaurant. I think of Pillsbury Doughboy, Pillsbury biscuits. I think of biscuits and gravy. I think of a really nice rye bread with pastrami. You know, instead I'm making these chaffles. You make them with, now you can use like almond flour. You can, if you're like, you want to be on like a keto diet or something like that, you can use different kinds of flour. But I use eggs, and you just put a little cheese in the eggs, throw some soft cheese in the eggs, get the egg, throw it on the waffle maker, and you can use it. You can just make them simply 3 eggs is 4 little waffles. You can just eat the waffles as they are, and they're very good. They're eggs and cheese, or you can use them as bread, which is what I do sometimes. I'll get like ground beef, and I'll make a burger. I'll put some Gouda cheese on that bad boy, or some Havarti. I'll put some cheese on there, and then I'll put the chaffles around it. Little ketchup, little mustard. Boom! There's my cheeseburger. No, they're not awful. They're fantastic. So if you guys don't want to eat them, that's up to you. No problem. All right, let's get into this here. As I said, this is a rough ranking. It's not my ranking. It's a rough list of the 10 places in Thailand based on cost of living and quality of living. Number 10, Koh Samui. While it is a tropical paradise with beautiful beaches and luxury resorts, the cost of living is relatively high, and the quality of living might be lower than other places. I don't know if there is, well, I don't have very much ketchup, so, you know, I'm talking about one little packet, and that has a minimal amount of sugar, so I don't worry about that, but I don't always have that. Sometimes I'll just have mustard. I'll have mayonnaise. You can get mayonnaise that's made without sugar. So, you know, like I buy peanut butter. Peanut butter, I buy unsweetened peanut butter, and it doesn't taste as good, but it does the job. Now, I don't know if this is accurate because it says the cost of living is relatively high and the quality of living might be lower than other places in Thailand. As I understand it, as I have read, and I remember, there are some instances where, yes, it's a little bit more expensive, and it is more expensive. It's a pain in the ass to get there. Flights are not cheap. You rarely are going to find some cheap flight to go to Koh Samui. It's not going to be like 1,000 baht like some places, or 599 baht. You almost never see those. It's always at least 3,000, maybe 4,000 or 5,000, and that's you know, that's a fair bit more than anywhere else. But I think from what I've read and seen that the cost of living is not that bad. It's pretty reasonable there for living on an island. And the same goes with number 9, which is Koh Phangan, which is, again, known for its backpacker culture and low cost. Anywhere backpackers are, the cost of living tends to be a little bit lower. The prices at bars tend to be a little bit lower because, first of all, they're getting, usually, these places they have a lot more people in and out of their establishments, so they can afford to drop the price a bit. But the quality of living may be lower due to the party atmosphere and lack of infrastructure. Koh Phangan, that's number 9. Sarni's there's a couple of Sarni's. There's one on Soi Ton Son near, Central Embassy. Is that what it was? Central Embassy? It's right down the street from, it's right down the street from, you can walk from Nana Plaza. I mean, you know, it's a 20-minute walk or something. Something like that. But let me see if I can, because I really do like Sarni's, and you know, the thing is I don't know about now how it would be. What is new here? They have some new coffee in. Yeah, I mean, I like Koh Samui, and I've had some good times there. But you know, living there, it's an island, and you know, you get island fever. There's all kinds of stuff that can happen. But let me see if I can find this here. There's like, what is it, 3 of them? I thought there's three different Sarni locations. And there's Sarni's, I think, in Singapore and actually in Australia as well. All right, there's one in Bang Rak. Yeah, I don't see the, oh, here we go. Bangkok. This one, there's one in Singapore. Okay, this is Bangkok that I'm looking at. There's one in Soi Ton Son. If you just look at that, and I'll give you the, I'll put the link in here. They have all kinds of stuff there. They have really good breakfasts. They have sweets, they have pastries, bread, you know, all that kind of stuff. I'll take you over there. Hang on. Yeah, that's the one that I went to. That's one of the main ones. Well, that's the big one. So here's what you got. You got some donuts, croissants, muffins, cookies. I don't see. Oh, here's the chocolate chip and oatmeal, chicken and mushroom pie, ham, cheese, turkey, some wraps. My favorite, the crab stick salad. I bet you are, Carlos. Take care, man. Be well. I got tuna sandwich, egg salad. And then, of course, you got little brownies. These are not special brownies. These are just brownies. Chocolate flowers cake, banana feed pie, apple pie, blueberry cheesecake. Coconut cake, chocolate cake, cheesecake, pudding, and you got all these little things over here. They got a lot of stuff, but this particular Starbucks, does not cook meals. If you go into some of the Starbucks, they'll have soup, they'll have lunches, and you know, yeah, Starbucks is definitely overpriced, in my opinion. And you know, it's like, what was it that somebody was saying yesterday? They were talking about how, a backpack was overpriced. It was Jim. He was talking about how backpacks are overpriced here. That a little day pack was 3,000 baht, but it depends on the brand. You know, that it's always about brand recognition. You get something like a JanSport that's a really good one, or you get a North Face or something like that. You can get a little backpack. It's not all that big. And man, it's way, I mean, you know, you're like 150 bucks for this thing. You know, but it's generally constructed pretty well. Although I gotta say, I have a North Face backpack, and immediately upon buying it, some of the threads came out because I kind of packed it very full. And I didn't want to take it back. I don't want to go through all the bullshit to take it back, because I was almost at the end of the time frame where you could take it back. And I didn't want them, you know, saying, oh, well, maybe you did something. Looks like foreign chick. I don't know. She's got kind of blonde hair. Anyway. So my wife just sewed it up, and it's you know, she sewed it like to where the thing wasn't going to come apart. But most of the time you get what you pay for, but not always. And in the case of backpacks and also pastries, I mean, the pastries are like, some of them, it's like $5 for a little thing that you eat 3 bites. To me, that's too much. You eat 2 or 3 bites and you get a piece of cheesecake and it's like $6, $5. That's too much. I've been to both of the Sarnies. The Sarnies down by Icon Siam, the one that Charing Krung, and the one that is near the Shangri-La. That one has that brick wall, and that one's a nicer one. The decor is nicer, and I think they have like a live band in the evening or something, because there's a couple of, there's some big hotels, expensive hotels, and people are looking for places to go. And they have some, Sarni's got some great drinks there, but I can't drink some of them now because I don't want sugar. So I'm sticking to the stuff that doesn't have sugar, But great place. All right, let me go on. Okay, I said Koh Samui, number 10. Koh Phangan, number 9. Number 8, Phuket. Cost of living is relatively high. And yes, it's relatively high. The thing that I kind of find strange is that you got Phuket. It's not much different. Oh, it's a Western girl. It's not much different aside from the clientele, and that it's a Euro destination primarily, or let's say a lot of Europeans go there. Whereas Pattaya is much cheaper. I mean, there's a lot of places that are very cheap. And you go to Phuket, and yeah, I'm sure you can look around, find some places that are pretty inexpensive, but Phuket, the cost of living is higher. That's, So I don't understand why. And I mean, if you're looking to, if you don't want to spend a lot of money, I would say, man, go to Hua Hin, go to Pattaya or go to Prachuap or one of these other places. Go to Krabi before you go to Phuket, because to me Phuket's a bit overpriced. You got the taxi mafia down there. You got the high price to get back and forth from the airport. And you don't have a lot of choices. I don't know if they have the little shuttle bus now. I haven't been keeping up on that. Anyway, number 7, Hua Hin. It still says cost of living may be higher than other places. And I don't know it's all that expensive, but I think it's kind of in between Pattaya and also Phuket. I think the pricing is somewhere in the middle. You can have whatever you want, and that is what I like about Thailand, and I actually like about some of these cities. You want to stay high end, you can stay high end. It's not all high end places, and you're like, well, if I'm going to stay there, it's $150. Listen, you go to the Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo. Most of the places, most of the hotels, if you want to be safe, they're going to cost you at least $100 to $150 a night. Why? And there are not a huge amount of options. Now, I don't know the place like I know Thailand, for sure. But I know what I've been told and what I've read. And, you want to stay in cheaper places? Well, then you run the risk of having problems. So, Hua Hin is a nice alternative to Phuket and also to Pattaya. Yeah, Cha'am is very nice. I like Prachuap. I really like Prachuap. I mean, I do like Cha'am, but, Number 6, Koh Chang. Of course, as I said, known for its natural beauty. And there is a relatively low cost of living if you want to move there. but it is a bit less developed than other islands, and the quality of living therefore might be a little bit lower. I don't know. What I remember in Koh Chang is, I remember the chicken, the best gayang to this day that I've ever had in my life. And I think it was less than 100 baht for a fantastic plate of chicken, which is, you know, $2.70 or whatever. I don't know what it works out to. Somewhere around there. Between $2.50 and $3. Well, now I think it's about $3. So, number 5, Bangkok. While the cost of living in Bangkok is higher than in other parts of the country, the city offers a wide range of job opportunities, diverse culture scene, and high standard of living. Plus, you got all the transportation, and that's why a lot of Thais from the villages, they decide to come here. They move and come here because they can make more money. You know, so if you're working out in the fields and you're making, you know, 12,000 baht a month, 10,000 baht a month, and you decide to come here, and you can make 18,000, then, you know, why wouldn't you? And the cost of living, I would say, you still make out better, and your opportunity is better. Now, for foreigners who want to live in the city, I mean, I've lived here for a long time, but I've lived in other places in China, but I've also lived here for the majority of my stay. I lived in Phuket, lived in Udon Thani. I've stayed in Chiang Mai for a couple months. I've stayed in, where was that other place that I stayed? I don't know, it was to the east. I didn't stay that long, so you can't really consider that, but what I like here is, you know, you can find anything you want. There's a lot to do. You can get around very easily. So for now, at least, it's a good place to live. There are better. I just need to find those places that fit my needs, the family's needs, and all that kind of stuff. Number 4, Kanchanaburi. Obviously known for its history, and of course it is a beautiful, beautiful area. And the farther west that you go, the more beautiful it shall be. But it is the city has a lower cost of living than most major cities, and I think I would consider living there. I guess it depends on what I can find, but I would just consider living there because it's a beautiful place. And yeah, I guess depending on where you could find that is not in the main tourism area, that would determine whether or not I would move there. Okay. Now we're up to what? Number 3, which is the Isan area. Number 3, number 2, number 1, they are all very, very close. And I would say that out of the 3, Pattaya and Chiang Mai are the best places for Westerners to stay, and then the Isan region, simply because it's easier for people to stay in a place like Chiang Mai or a place like Pattaya because of the language skills are better in those cities. Quality of living for the cost of living in Chiang Mai is great. Same with Pattaya. And it's a good place to party, you know, so. So there you have it, 10 places: Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, Phuket, Hue Hin, Koh Chang, Pattaya, Bangkok rather, Kanchanaburi, and then the top three, Pattaya, Chiang Mai, and the Isan region. So those are 10 places. And there's a couple other places. I'm surprised they didn't say Koh Samet for the people who want to stay in a place where there may be tourists, of course, because that's an island that is full of tourists. I don't know if it's just there's not an abundance of places to stay there and it's a little more difficult to get to, but I would say that some people who want a more quiet, relaxed life would stay there. Another place is Koh Chang in the south, where I went before and I did the video series. There were numerous people who stayed there, and there was there were women there, and all they did was every morning they woke up and did their yoga, and then they had their Thai food. Maybe they went for a walk, and then they read a book all day. It's a quiet place. And then, as Gennaro so adeptly brought up, Krabi. Now, I like Krabi because of the islands and the ease in which you can go island hopping. I also like Khao Lak because of the ease that you can go island hopping, but I think Krabi is far better than Khao Lak as a place to live, and I don't think I would live in Khao Lak, or I wouldn't live in Khao Lak. And there are other places. Some people like Korat, some people like Khon Kaen. Some people like Cha'am, some people like Prachuap. Where else? Ayutthaya, Sukhothai. So there, if I had expanded this and made 20 places or 25 places, those places would probably be on the list. I don't know that Koh Samet would make the grade. But does anybody else have any ideas of other places that are good for expats to live? I'm talking about Western expats, mainly. Yeah, okay, you can go live there. That's not going to happen with me there, bucko. I'm not going to go there. Not going to happen. Not going to do it. Ao Nang is nice around the beach area, but that's about it. Too many tourists. It's like many places, though, Andy. You can find areas that are not full of tourists, but you're going to have to really go and look. And if you don't speak the language, you can still do it. I'm not saying you can't do it. It's just like coming over without ever being in Thailand. You can do it. It's just going to be much more difficult than, to get up and running. It might take you a fair bit longer to get up and running and to get the lay of the land and to figure out where you want to live. And you might not understand that much. You want to understand things. That's why I said, and I've said this to many people, if you want to really get the lay of the land, I personally think, if you have the money, get a place in Bangkok, get a place in Pattaya. You could go to Pattaya and move there straight away. I would say if you're the kind of person who wants to hit the nightlife, you're easily swayed by the women. Oh, she was so sweet, so I just gave her the 5,000 that she wanted. That kind of thing. It's not the best place to go as a first destination. If you're a guy who doesn't really care about that, you're not there to go run around and pull girls from the bars, then I would say, okay, go there. I love Bali personally. I really like Bali, and I think Bali is a great destination and a fantastic place for expats to live. Once again, though, you need to figure out where it is that you want to live. Some people, they want to live amongst all the tourists. They want to live in a really busy area. That's not me. But, you know, that's the beauty. You can choose to live in Bali and live out in the middle of nowhere, pretty much. Or you can choose to live in Bali and be right where all the tourists are. I mean, it really depends on where you want to live. Yeah, and see, this is another thing that people don't really realize, is that traffic in a lot of these places that are popular is getting worse. I was really surprised when Patia Bob, 2QA, and myself, we all went down to Hua Hin, and there was so much traffic. And I mean, you're not talking about like LA type traffic, Bangkok type traffic. Although in spurts, maybe in Hua Hin, you might see some heavy traffic. But I was just surprised at the amount of traffic overall. See, people wearing their little Chinese outfits. And actually, what's funny is that Alex has to wear a little Chinese outfit, and his company decided to give him, well, they decided, I guess they just do that, but where our place is, there's never any tourists, only me when I'm there. I don't know what that says about our place. What it says is that they haven't reached you yet. Here in Bangkok, there are a handful of tourists that come here, but for the most part, it's not tourists, it's expats. And you know, I was gonna stream with Mr. Tom, who is, I think he's been here now 17 years. He's back from the United States, and I was gonna stream with him on this past Wednesday, but instead I went to the Wat Sampran, to the Dragon Temple. I'm gonna meet with him. I think I'm gonna meet with him tomorrow and just have a chat with him. I'm not gonna stream. I'm just gonna have a chat with him because I got quite a few things to do, and I'm gonna have a chat with him, see how he's doing, see what he has to say. I may chat with him in a stream in the near future. I don't know. I'm not sure. Hey, Fire Dude, how you doing? It's picking up around our area with massage places and weed shops opening up. I mean, even right down the street from my village, there is a weed shop. And I don't really care about the weed. I definitely don't care about smoking it. And I've tried the edibles, and they don't do enough benefit for me when it comes to sleep and that kind of thing. And I don't care about, I don't want to be stoned and stupid. I just want to fall asleep. And sleep better. But to be honest, ever since I started the keto, I've been sleeping better. So, I don't need it. And those things have quite a bit of sugar in them. So I don't want to do that either. So I don't really care about it. But for people who do care about it, it's nice that, if they want to go, they can just go. It's like going to 7-Eleven now. And you find your little shop in your area that you really like, and then you take it from there, All right, Gennaro, go ahead, say it. Go ahead, say it. I know you want to. Anyway. So those are the 10 places, and like I said, I don't think that most of them came as any surprise. I mean, Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Phuket, Pattaya, Hua Hin, but there are some other places that you could consider. So maybe what I'll do is I will check the top 20 or 20 places that are great for expats, people wanting to move over here. And I'll put that up on my website, along with the other stuff I'm putting up. So that should all be up. This week, the website should, the website should start to take shape and look quite a bit better. I'm hoping my local weed shop is like Cheers, where everyone knows your name. Of course, for your friend. I don't know if that girl was hot, but you guys have all kinds of wild standards. You think girls are hot that I look at and I go, huh? Say what? And I don't really think that way anyway anymore. I'm married, you know. I don't really care, to be completely honest. Doesn't matter to me. Just like the weed shops, you know, for me, I don't care. I don't care about the bars, I don't care about the weed shops, and I don't care about, you know, chicks wearing little shorts walking by that are halfway up their ass crack. I don't care. Yeah, I mean, I'm a human being, of course, but you know, I got other things to think about it, you know? Really. Believe me, I have a lot of other things to think about. So there you have it. Those are the things. Like I said, I'll try to put up a top 20 list on the website. And for those of you who are thinking of moving over, you know, moving to a foreign country, I remember when I first moved here. And it's exciting and you're a little nervous, you're apprehensive, it can be intimidating at times. And I didn't have any clue of what it would take other than money to be successful in the move. And I think, you know, knowing the benefits and knowing the downsides to moving here in Thailand are some of the things that nowadays are very easy to find, and you know, researching this place is very, very easy because of the internet. You know, you think 30 years ago, the internet was in its infancy, and there were very few sources online that gave you a plethora of information about any destination, you know. But, you know, that said, this country, despite what some people may say, what they may think, and about people who have been leaving here because, the red tape is too much and all that, this place is still an attractive destination. A very attractive destination. The cost of living is reasonable. And it's still a great choice for someone trying to stretch their budget. So, you know, I mean, you can't deny that this place is a credible tourist destination and also expat destination. Let me see something here if I can find this out. Let's see here. Yeah, the rainfall varies with the time of year. Let me see something else here. Yeah, if you don't know, Thailand has 3 seasons, not 4. There's the Rudu Lawn, which is the hot season, Rudu Phon, which is the rainy season, and Rudu Now, which is the cool season. The driest areas are up in the Isan region. Udon Thani, Nakhon Ratchasima, Khon Kaen, they are the driest in the country. And Isan is relatively dry compared to the rest of Thailand. And the rainy season there is shorter and less intense, and it generally lasts from June to October. So there you go. So if you want to go somewhere that's really dry, I don't have a problem with the rainy season. I stayed in Ayutthaya only. I think it's a good city to live in, not to tourists, but also has enough. Well, it depends because, obviously Ayutthaya is a very historical area. It could be a good place to live, and it could also be a good place for tourists. Now, I get tired of seeing temples rather quickly. Even the temple that I went to the other day, the Dragon Temple, I was there from what time? 8:45 to maybe 9:45. I'm there for an hour, no more than 2 hours, and and that's it. That's all I need. The thing is that you can make a day of it because sometimes the temples are farther away. You go to the temple, you take your time, you have a little coffee before you go in, before you see, you go and see whatever temple it is you want to go see. And then when you're done, you have a little something to eat. It's a half-day trip, And yeah, the rainy season doesn't bother me. It really doesn't bother me here. And what I would say is if you really want to come to Thailand, just come. Don't worry about the rainy season. Yeah, once in a great while there'll be some flooding or whatever, but that's what they make. They do make umbrellas for a reason. And most of the time, you can always, there are other things. Like during the Songkran festival, hey, you can get very wet, right? But you know what? If you really want, you get yourself a Grab or you get yourself a in-driver or Bolt, and you go right from door to door, and you won't get wet. And then if you're doing that when it's raining, and when there's some heavy rain, you bring an umbrella. Umbrellas are like $3 here. Not a big deal. The floods suck, but you know what? I've really only experienced floods maybe, when I lived down in Sukhumvit, that area, I used to live on, I used to live on, what was it? Sukhumvit Soy 1. And I actually did a stream and showed a couple of places where I lived. If you go towards, say, Nana Plaza, and you're on Sukhumvit, I don't know how it is now. They may have improved that area, but there was always flooding, and it was nasty. You definitely had to take your shoes off, and and walking around in the flood with bare feet is not necessarily healthy, especially if you have cuts on your feet. You got cracked heels and stuff like that. It's not a good thing. That said, any other flooding I have experienced, like the old house where we used to live, if it rained a lot, we would get some flooding, and it did suck. However, if you were coming as a tourist, I wouldn't let it bother me. Honestly, it's part of the experience. And if you're someone who, you really want to come here, just do it. You really want to move here, just do it. Don't worry about the rainy season. Don't worry about, it's so rainy here. Worry about, does my area have good drainage? In my village, and I've talked about this before, they actually took a sledgehammer to the whole village where the drainage system was, and they put in brand new pipes. And then on Happy Land Road, which, listen, Happy Land, it's called Sai Nung, Sai Song, which is Sai 1 and Sai 2. And they run parallel to each other. There used to be a little bit of flooding But I think they have taken care of it, and they've made the drainage system better, and now they don't have that. That said, listen, Bangkok is sinking. Supposedly it's like an inch a year, and it's supposed to be underwater, and there's a certain time when it's supposed to be underwater, blah, blah, blah. I don't worry about these things at the moment. So, see, to me, if you want, like, am I gonna not go somewhere because, oh, it's the rainy season? If I have a choice, probably. But if I really want to go there, I don't care. I used to go to the Netherlands every November because of Thanksgiving holiday. So I would get, 4-day weekend. Then I would take my vacation time, and I would just save up a bunch of time, and I would go for 3 weeks or a month. And I'd go over there, and it was freezing, man. There was snow. It was so cold, and I didn't care. I just didn't care. The rainy days are not end on end, man. Don't exaggerate. They're not end on end. And if it does rain day after day, it's only for, say, an hour, maybe 2 hours. Once in a great while, it will rain like, all night long or something. But for the majority of the time, one thing about Thailand is the rains do not last very long. So, yeah, okay, it might rain one day after another, but the amount of rain it might be very heavy for an hour, but that's it. It's done. After an hour, it's done. You go wherever you want. Walk around. There's no flooding. There's no problems. So, you got to consider that. But I understand. You're taking a holiday. Or you decide to move somewhere, you don't want to have to, it can be frustrating, or it can be an irritation if there is flooding in your area. So, yeah, but Gennaro, come on, man. I mean, it's not like, oh my God, every day I got to take my shoes off and walk, through water up to my knees. Yeah, usually it rains in the afternoon. And, it was funny because I was talking to Beer this morning, and she said, oh, yeah, last night, I didn't do much, and, because I got all this work to do. She's doing some reports or something. And I said, well, what did you do? What time did you go to bed? She said, 8 o'clock. I said, well, that's around the time I went to bed. I fell asleep. I fall asleep early now. I used to fall asleep 1 o'clock in the morning and wake up at 4. Or 5. Now I fall asleep at, say, not most of the time, 9 or 10, and I wake up at 4. Here where Andy and I live, it's nothing to have a couple of 37 Celsius days and then 14 Celsius days and have the heating on. Summer in Melbourne. Interesting. Doesn't rain indoors. Good way to get MRSA. I don't know what MRSA. I know what an infection is, walking through shit water. Yeah, I don't particularly like that, but sometimes I have done it in the past, and I haven't done it I'll tell you, I haven't done it in years. In KL, they have a road tunnel that converts into a flood tunnel that helps the city from flooding. I sleep best during the rain. I like the rain. Now, if I have to be out and about, I don't particularly like it. But as I said, you can get around quite often. Now, if you're out in a village or something like that, and you don't have your own transportation, yeah, it can be a bit of a hassle. If you're out in a village and there's mud everywhere when you walk outside, and it's nice, firm, packed mud when it's dry, but then when it rains, you're like slipping and sliding in mud, and your shoes are getting filthy. So, I mean, I do understand, but I just try not to let it stop me. I try to find the workarounds. Three weeks of IVs. Yeah, I mean, you can get some. I did say, walking in the dirty water, flood water. when you've got cuts or cracked heels or cracked feet, whatever it is, where there's a way for bacteria to enter easily. That's not good to be walking around like that. So, like I said, I understand. I just, most of the time, I'd rather find a workaround than have to say, oh, I'm not going to go now. I'll go, in 6 months, or I'll go in 3 months, or I don't know. I never did that. So, anyway, one way or the other, you can find the workarounds. But yeah, some people don't know, but Thailand doesn't have 4 seasons. It only has 3. Yeah, everybody in our family has had dengue fever, and fortunately we recovered. Yeah, they sell plastic ponchos in 7-Eleven. They're like, I don't know how much, depends. You get the really crappy ones that are like 29 baht. You get the better ones, they might be 129 baht. But we all have, we have, I don't know how many umbrellas in our house. Some of them don't work very well. Some of them are broken now. We don't use them. We just haven't thrown them out. But I have one, and everybody knows, keep your paws off my umbrella, because it fits into the bag I have very easily. And, I don't know, Gennaro. It may. Let me see here. Let me do a quick check for you. Now, I'm no medical professional, but dengue fever is a viral infection transmitted by mosquitoes, can cause such symptoms as fever, headache, muscle and joint pain, and rash. I experienced all of those. It can also lead to a more severe form of the disease called dengue hemorrhagic fever, which can cause bleeding, low blood platelet, thrombocytopenia, and damage to the circulatory system. A low platelet count caused by dengue fever is usually temporary, and platelet counts usually return to normal within a few weeks after the infection. However, in rare cases, dengue fever can cause long-term damage to the bone marrow, leading to chronic or permanent reduction in platelet production. It's also worth noting that dengue is a re-emerging disease, and a person can be infected multiple times with different serotypes of the virus. Each infection can increase the risk of severe dengue and dengue hemorrhagic fever, so it's important to take precautions to avoid mosquito bites and seek medical attention if symptoms appear. So there you go. Now, something else I'll say is, it did suck. I mean, I had it and I could not even walk, and in fact, what I did was I called a friend, and this is I didn't live here at the time. I called a friend that I had met, and she came and took me to she went with me to the hospital, but the hospital, I was staying right next to Bumrungrad Hospital, and they came over with a wheelchair and wheeled me over to the hospital. So, it was not nice, and the kids we were really worried for a couple of days. We were worried about them, and then they got better, and then they were fine. It does get worse each time you have it. And we have a few mosquitoes in our house, and most of the time they don't bother me. They bother my wife, and they bother the kids, but they don't like me for some reason. The mosquitoes here don't like me, which that's fine with me. And mosquitoes are the most dangerous animal on the planet. And this is one reason. Malaria, dengue fever, the disease that they carry. Diseases. But you don't want to get dengue. You don't want to get it. So, yeah, I mean, I understand the rain can be problematic, the flooding especially, but, little rain never hurt anybody. And if you got an umbrella or you got a poncho, you're probably going to be all right. The flooding is a little bit different story. So it pays to know the place where you live. I mean, not only do you need to check the apartment, the condo, the house where you live, you really need to check, you know, what type of area is it? Is it a dangerous area? Is it an area with a lot of crime? And how is the drainage system? How's the traffic? You know, these are the things to look for if you're moving to Thailand. So you got to research your housing and transportation options as well as your drainage. Those are a couple of things you want to research before you decide to finalize anything. You need to explore different neighborhoods, and I would say, if you have the time and the energy, walk around, go check places out, ask the locals where the best place, some place that they think is a good place to live, especially if you're on a budget. You know, find out the transportation costs, how close to various methods of transportation are you. I mean, I feel very fortunate, especially with the monorail going up, between the songtaos, the minivans, the motorcycle taxis. I mean, there are always taxis going in and out of our village too. Now, you know, with Grab and with Bolt and InDriver, and there's some tuk-tuk services. There's an electric tuk-tuk service. There's all kinds of ways to get around. If you live in Bangkok, then it's a huge bonus, transportation. I wouldn't worry about the snake proof in the Thailand, the toilet. Again, it depends on where you are. But if you're in a village, then I would worry about it big time. Another thing, if you're moving over here, of course, is to figure out your visa situation, and if you need a work permit, whether you're going to get a work permit, whether you're going to get a job, whatever. And you know, something that people don't always look into is, you know, get some basic language skills under you, and learn a little bit about the culture. I mean, just read about Thailand. You don't have to, you know, read a couple summaries of what the culture is like. Learn a little bit about it, because moving here is an adjustment. I mean, even for me, when I moved, I had been here 5 or 6 times, and it was still an adjustment. I mean, you know, it's always going to be an adjustment. One thing I will say, though, is if you want to eat Thai food, this is a great place to eat. Relatively inexpensive, or fairly inexpensive Thai food, and you're going to get really good stuff. Yeah, you got to be careful. You do have to be careful about the snakes, especially if you're close by a klong. You're close by some drainage that is not the best, is not the most secure. And in some places, you have to worry about water monitors. They can be a bit of a hassle as well, but I have never seen any in our area. No, I'm not going over to her and having her, she can't even speak English. She's not gonna know. I already told you the definition. Take it to heart. I told you the definition, and Christopher Moore, an expat who has been here even longer than myself, he also told you the definition, and that's good enough for me. So, all right, listen, we're getting to the end of the stream here. It's about time for me to wrap it up. So, like I've been saying, please remember to hit that thumbs up, smash it, pound it, do whatever you want to it. If you haven't subscribed already, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. I am marching towards 15,000 now. It's been a long time, but finally, I'm almost there. Only 72 more subscribers needed to hit 15,000. Considering how long it's taken me, I'm very happy about this. Well, then you need to ask one of your old Thai girlfriends tomorrow. I'm not going to go ask her and have to fumble around and try to get her to speak English to you. And she's busy, actually. Let's see here. It's probably not true, but I've been told plenty of ganja is a good way to keep dengue fever at bay. We'll give it a go on my next film. Well, have at it, Dowlow. It's legal, after all. So yeah, let me get back to what I was saying. Get yourself an Aussie T-shirt if you have not got one yet. Now let me see. I think I had a. There is still a discount for people if you want to get a little bit of a discount. I think it's 10%. It doesn't matter here. It can be recreational here. Recreational is fine here. It's legal. Use the code Saigon. Figure out how to spell it. It's not that difficult. Use the code Saigon and get 10% off your order from now until, well, from now through Monday night at midnight. 12:01, boom, no more 10% discount. 12:01 Tuesday, no more discount. So have at it. Go for it. No reason why not to buy. And then otherwise, just keep watching. Like I said, Wednesday there's going to be a Pattaya Villa video going up. It's already up at this point. Good morning, Michael. Wednesday, 8 a.m. Bangkok time. Pattaya Villa video going up. Some drone footage in there. Nice villa. And I have myself a different kind of a coffee at a very nice coffee shop. So watch that. The 8th episode. Thank you very much, Dowlow. Happy 62nd birthday. Well, you're older than I am. My favorite subscriber. Good morning, Soy Dog Cowboy. Good morning. How you doing? What's happening? Let me see here. What was I getting ready to say? You're doing well. Have you made any plans to get over here yet? I will have a Pattaya video, as I was saying, going up on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Pattaya video going up. The video will show the villa that I stayed in with Jono and Fidelity Quester and one other guy. So you guys may enjoy it. Plus it'll show some Pattaya footage. So anyway, guys, I got to wrap it up. It's time to wrap it up. It's time to go. You guys come in right at the end. Soy Dog Cowboy, Michael, come in right at the end. Yeah, what else? It was a good time in Pattaya. We had a great time. The end is the... That's what I told her. I said, the end is the sweet spot. Yes, hello. All right, listen, I gotta... Hang on a second. There we go. Now I am plugged in. Hang on a second here. Okay, there we are. We're back. Thank you very much, Mr. Andy. Thank you, Dowlow. Thank you, Andy. Thank you to the Aussie Pawsey. Carnival Chronicles, thank you very much. 9.99. Yes, I have lost, and I'm anxious to see what I weigh today because I haven't eaten today yet. I have lost 12.2 kilograms. So that's almost 27 pounds. And now I am about ready to get back in the gym. First will be the calisthenics and stuff like that, maybe for a month. And then I'll go to a gym. I'll start going to a gym again. And I don't know where, because there's a couple, but I really, yeah, I want to be picky about where I go. Anyway, so thank you guys. Thank you very much. Yeah, big thumbs up. And also, like I said, I'm going to have a woman on. I'll just tell you, she works for Alliance Insurance, which has some great policies. I was very surprised. But if you have questions for her, please leave them down below in the comments or stick them in the community tab. I'm going to put up some questions up there and put a note about it up in the community tab. Ask your questions. If you got questions, she will answer them. She does speak English. She doesn't speak fantastic English, but she speaks a bit, and then what she can't say, I can translate for her. I'll tell you what, some of the clothes, some of the shorts I have, and even my jeans, the jeans I've been wearing, they're starting to fall off. So I am required to wear a belt again. Now, the belts that I use most of the time, I've got 4 or 5 belts, but I don't use most of them because some of them are old or whatever. I just should throw them out. But for a while, this belt that I've been using, I use the first notch, and I have to kind of pull hard on it. Now I'm almost to the second notch. I could fit on the second notch, but it would be really tight. And I'm at the point now where I just have to buy some new clothes because, I mean, you can use a belt, but then when you pull the belt too tight, it just looks weird. And I'm already doing that. I was doing that before, but I mean, I remember when my underwear was falling down, it sucked. Yeah, I gotta say, Manscaped, they used to have the 3-pack of underwear, and they were reasonably priced. And they gave me my stuff because I was promoting their product, and they gave me all kinds of other stuff. And their stuff is very good. Manscaped 20. Was it Malin 20? It was Malin 20 when you get to Manscaped if you want a discount. It's still valid. But now they have these shorts, they're 26 bucks. Now, I don't know, I haven't got a pair of them. They may be very good, but you would hope they would be awesome. I've had mine for, it's been a couple of years now, 3 years, 4 years now, 3 years. And let's just say that they're starting to have some holes in them in places where you don't want them to have holes. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put the upcharge on there, Gennaro. So I'm looking for other shorts that I can get here where I don't have to pay for the shipping and all that other kind of stuff. And I kind of want to wait another month before I get them because my size might go down. My shirts fit better. It feels good, Anyway, of course, my wife is like, that's nice. She doesn't. She's like, I want to see you keep it off. I want to see you keep losing. Because I used to tell her about how, if you had met me when I was younger, I was ripped and I was in good shape and I had hair. And she's like, yeah, well, you don't now. So now she's been telling me, I want to see how you were when you were younger. You're still going to be an old man, though. So, anyway, what happened to Soy Dog Cowboy? Oh, not yet. He said not yet. He has not yet planned a trip here. Now's the time, honestly. You want to get over here now before all the Chinese, before all the tourists start coming back. I will say this, less Thais are wearing their mask, but it is a little noticeable, but it's not so noticeable where you go, oh, nobody's wearing their mask. However, I did watch my Pattaya video and also my Chiang Mai video. And in the videos, there are far less locals wearing their masks than here in Bangkok. And, my wife was like, oh, the problem with riding the bus is you have to wear your mask, and I don't want to wear the mask. I'm like, they never made me wear a mask on the bus. One lady said something about it. She goes, they might, though. And if you don't have a mask, they might not let you ride it. And I'm like, okay, whatever, you know. The only thing that's the same is my, way too much information. All right, guys, listen. Appreciate you guys watching. And I don't know when I'll be streaming again. Maybe Friday. Maybe Wednesday. But I kind of doubt that. And, you know, what does it matter to you if other people wear masks or not? Well, it doesn't matter to me because I'm not wearing a mask. However, it matters to other people who feel the obligation to wear a mask because the locals are wearing masks, and that's why I bring it up. So, you know, you can do what you want. You can wear your mask, not wear your mask. It doesn't matter to me. And quite frankly, I don't give a shit if the Thais wear the mask for the rest of their life. They can do it. I'm not wearing it, though. So, there it is there. All right? Okay, guys. Okay, guys. Thank you. That is all. Until next time, I am Scott. I am an American in Bangkok. And until next time, Chok Di Leo Jerkan Mai, which is Chok Di, good luck, Jerkan Mai. See you later. Until next time. All right, now this place is starting to pick up. It's time to go. I got errands to run, things to do, people to see. I shall say farewell. Goodbye. Yes, thanks to all the moderators, mediators. Ciao.